Hello, it's me, Troubadour, and I'm back again with another video. Today's video, we are in the Customs Arena, finally tackling the new patch in the Customs Arena instead of the standard packs, and I got a fun team for y'all today. Decided to hop back in and try out some of the changes to pets to see how they work in the new update. And one of those pets I decided to try out was the Lioness. A Lioness for a long time has been a very good pet. How it works before, in case you don't know, it's a tier 6, and whenever you would in turn, it would give +2 attack and health to future shop pets. And so basically, if you stacked a bunch of these Lioness, you could easily get all 50/50s by like turn 15, 16. It was kind of just like a lame, easy way of getting scaling. Not super interesting, but very good. It's cool for some things, you know, if you're going for like 5 of kinds or something like that, it's pretty neat. But anyway, I decided to change it. How it works now, it's kind of a buy-sell pet. So now instead, it's still tier 6, but now instead, whenever you sell a pet, it will give +1 attack and health to future shop pets from the tier of the pet that you sold. So say you sold like, I don't know, say you sold a zebra, it would give +1 attack and health to all future tier 5s, and that works twice per turn. I think originally they had like 3 times per turn, but it's too broken on the test server, so that's pretty funny. But there's ways you can really abuse this if you've got the right team, and the idea I'm going for in this run is I'm going to be using Lioness combined with Bloodhound so that I can cycle oysters and scale tier 6 really fast, because if I sell an oyster with a Bloodhound restocks a pet whenever you sell it 1, 2, or 3 times per turn. So basically, if I have a leveled up Bloodhound and some Lionesses, I can buy, sell oysters a bunch and scale up my tier 6 really fast, and then use a bunch of pets that like having big stats like Sleipnir, Hydra, Reindeer, Behemoth, stuff like that are all in the pack. And that's kind of the idea. And of course, things never go as you planned, and this took me over 20 attempts. I would tell you exactly how many it took, but I ran out of space in my replays, and I can't actually look back that far. It's over 20 attempts, though. I know that for sure. And I'm recording this the day before this video comes out. Literally, I'm like grinded this all day trying to get this run pretty much. Just trying to get this one run, and maybe I should have just saved it for next week. I was getting kind of burnt out, but I was like, you know what, I just want to grind it, push through, and try and get this. So hey, this one right here is a really cool example of how you can use the new Lioness, but I think the way I went about it maybe wasn't the best, or maybe not the strongest way of doing it, because like I said, it took over 20 attempts. But now reflect back on it, I think the more problem was I was having trouble getting to like the turn 11 and onwards with like more than 1 or 2 lives. Oh, we faced grounded here. That's cool. I've been paying attention to all the YouTubers I've been facing. That's crazy. Also, hope you guys enjoying the live gameplay. How often do I have that on the channel? That's crazy. I actually recorded this one live on my PC for once. What was I talking about? Right. So I think if you maybe have a person, if you're better at, you know, maintaining lives early, maybe you can just do the, you know, scummy things. Scale a big tier 1. I don't know, run a rollaway monkey, spam a bunch of garlic, maybe just tempo out. I don't know. Just all you need to do is get to turn 11, find a Bloodhound, Lioness, and Oyster, and that's kind of the idea I go for in this video. So maybe someone else can make it more consistent. I don't know. But this is my winning run. The run looks really good, but took me over 20 tries, so I don't know if Lioness it's definitely not as strong as before, that's for sure, but I don't know if it's as bad as it may look in this video, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but while we wait for the to get to the Lioness, right now we're just doing some blue ringed octopus cycling. But I had a couple cool fun situations come up while I was playing earlier today, so I just want to show off a couple of clips of that, because honestly the battles in the background not super duper, you know, necessary to the overall you know, team I'm going for. So check out this first clip here. So originally I was gonna do a good dog whale shark team. You can see a clip of this now. This was recorded on my phone, which is why it's a different aspect ratio. But as you can see, no matter how many food perks it eats from the good dog, whale shark only triggers 1 time. What a heartbreaker. So yeah, that team idea ended up going nowhere. Also, we get our first Lioness on the team, but we don't have any tier 6s quite yet. We're gonna use Bonobo to try and get some more Lionesses. While we wait, check out this other clip from while I was going for Lioness teams. So literally, I had a turn 1 opening shop sloth. I've never had that happen before. I've gotten level 3 sloth like 3 times, which I am very proud, you know, about. But this run ended up losing it on turn 10. This person running Gelada Hooded Seal, which is pretty fun. Shouts to Ruru123. I had double sloth there thanks to Bonobo, by the way. I didn't find a second sloth, though I have done that before. I have naturally rolled 2 slots in the same shop before. But anyway, our stats are decent on our Wyvern and our Bloodhound because I've been doing some blue-ringed octopus stuff before I brought the Lionesses in. Thankfully, we're still able to make it to turn 11 with 3 lives, 2 Lionesses, and a level 2 Bloodhound. Literally, this is the best setup I've had the entire way through. I'm going to skip these blue-ringed octopuses. In case you didn't know, bro is short for blue-ringed octopus. I saw people talking about that in Discord the other day, not realizing that's what people meant. But I'm skipping that because I want to do the oyster cycling. I can afford it with the amount of lives I have. And I've got enough wins left that I can, you know, have enough time to scale up the shop as much as I'm hoping. You can see Cobra as well, another pet that likes having a lot of stats. But yeah, now we've got triple Lioness and the Bloodhound, and we're gonna start shop scaling our tier 6 shop. So when we sell this oyster, we're gonna get some gold back, but we're also going to trigger the Lionesses, and we're going to get it restocked from the Bloodhound. Check it out there. Now, because the Lionesses have higher attack or lower attack than the Bloodhound, the oyster gets resummoned before it gets stats from the Lioness. But later on, you'll see when my Lioness have higher stats, they'll buff the shop, and then the oyster gets resummoned with the higher buff stats, which is pretty cool. But, you know, we'll bring in a casual 2020 behemoth. You know, that's pretty sick. We got an extra, like, plus 8/8, I think it was that turn. Yeah, Lioness definitely level 2 helps a lot because plus 1/1 for buy selling. If you don't have an oyster, you kind of run out of money unless you have some gold generation. Maybe that's what I needed. Maybe I just need to go full buy sell, run like a mana ray or something so that I could actually get this build off the ground more often. We're going to level up our Lioness to get some more cycling in. And then we're going to buy sell that alpaca just to get another trigger on our, oh my gosh, 3226 Lioness already is crazy. Or Leopard, I mean. Let's go trigger the Leopard Lioness one more time and so I can keep the oyster for next round. But yeah, 3226 Leopard on turn 13. Now, this is pretty good, but honestly, you know, I'm just got lucky and ran into teams like this. Like this, I don't know, Bakken, if you're watching, tell me if this was like a random pack or something. I don't know if Bakken watches my channel. I don't know. Anytime I see people in the customs arena, often people like Bakken, I just assume that they watch my channel just because I'm a customs grinder. I don't know. A lot of them are in my channel all the time, but maybe Bakken isn't. I don't know. Also, this build would have been so much better back when you could do the refreshing trick of merging an old pet onto a new one. That would have been so broken with this version of Lioness. But we're going to sell out of that behemoth, take a 35-34 reindeer. Turn 14, I think it's only going to take 1 or 2 more turns to hit a 50-50 shop for our tier 6s, which is pretty cool. We face Bakken again. That's pretty cool team right there. Maybe going for the living achievement. So I got the Hammerhead and the Quetzalcoatl. Pretty cool, but my team is too cringe, and so I'm going to win. What's cool here is we can actually refresh our Bloodhound triggers by using the chocolate here. So we're going to do that twice. Level up, and then look at that. There's 41, 40 reindeer. We'll go ahead and level up again, find another Lioness, which I buy 1 oyster and decide, you know what? Our level 3 leopard or Lioness has pretty low stats, so let's just sell out of that. And look at this, we can cycle the oysters again, and now the Lioness goes first, and my new oyster has the better stats from the Lioness buff. Now, I'm only getting 1/1 for every sell now, but I think the trade-off of having just better stats on my team so I don't lose because I lost over 20 times was definitely worth it. At least to me, I was just like, let me please just win 1 of these so I can be done. I definitely should not have burnt myself out on this team, but you know what? We did it anyway. But yeah, our stats are pretty freaking good. Look at this team from Dice Blessed. Yo, shouts to Dice Blessed. I see him on Hapsis Discord running a ostrich roll team with Platybelodon. Don't see as much ostrich now that it only scales health, but it's got its use cases. But we're gonna buy, sell a little more, get a little more shop scaling from the level 1 Lioness. We're gonna try and level up this Lioness if we can. Look at that, Cobra's already at 50 attack. Look at that, we hit another oyster, so we can trigger our Lioness twice with oyster while still keeping 1 for next turn. Look at that, that's amazing. So we're gonna grab this oyster, and we're really, really close to a 50-50 shop now. Look at that, it's only gonna take a couple more oyster cycles. An oyster? Did I say oyster? Oh, yeah, the oyster. The world's your oyster. A couple more oyster cycles to hit my level up here, or in my 50-50 shop. Matchman running this super cool team featuring Fringehead, Volcano Snail, and Blowfish. And I've seen him do some other hurt pets with it. Hopefully he gets that team across the line. I faced it a lot today going for this cringe stuff. But once again, this took me over 20 tries. So even though this is cringe, it's actually not as broken as it may seem in this run. But look at that. Turn 17, 50-50 shop. Basically just like what you used to do with the old Lioness. I could bring in the Behemoth here, but I think it's cooler to bring in other pets. I've been running a bunch of Behemoth lately too. It's just so freaking good. And then, we could run Cobra as well. That'd be pretty cool. 50-50s. Besides just to keep it like this, I mean, we have a 50 attack Leopard, a 50 attack level 2 Reindeer as well. And look at the space opposing bunch of 50-50s thanks to cat scaling, but we're able to get through just because we are more cringe. And yeah, at this point, we hit that 50-50 shop. And let's see if we can get a 5 of kind. That'd be pretty cool. We'll go for Sleipnir 5 of kind. Even if the mana might get wasted a bit, it could be pretty cool. I mean, our oyster's at 50-50. I could go for 5 of kind oyster if I wanted with this Lioness cringe. I'll pick up the Stinky Sock just for some extra support. Grab a Hydra. Probably should put the Hydra in the back for maximum summon value, I guess. But I think I might sell out of it soon. I think about leveling up the Sleipnir or the Reindeer. Maybe going for a little higher stats, but I see another Sleipnir. I decide, you know what? Let's go for the 5 of a kind Sleipnir. Could be pretty cool. Now, if I put one of the Sleipnirs at the front, it can't give mana to itself. That way, I don't have 3 pets giving mana to the same pet. It's spread out a little more, so it's going to only have up to 50 mana. So then we get 50 and 25 instead of just 50. Just a little bit of optimization there. Not that it matters. I mean, we basically had 2 50-50s left when the turn ended. And now we're going to roll down, see if we can hit the 5 of a kind Sleipnir. If we do hit it early, maybe we can get a White Ochre on one of these because it's an amazing food perk. Turn 19, 50-50 shop. I mean, you guys saw the run. If you want to try this yourself, the pack is in the description. Though, like I said, this took me over 20 attempts. So I can't guarantee that this pack is actually the best setup for Lioness. Maybe someone running a more buy-sell oriented pack could make more use out of it. We don't quite hit it, so we're just going to take the 4 Sleipnirs plus our Reindeer. What did we face in the last turn? We faced this Kraken sniping team that actually been ending a lot of my runs earlier today, but our stats are too high, and we take the win just barely. 14 health. That team almost beat like 550-50s. I think we only won maybe because of Reindeer Melon. I don't know, but that's going to be it, and we got the Lioness. Woo, yay, new Lioness. Pretty cool. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the generic stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next video. But until then, as always, stay true.